Hey guys, welcome to our Thursday night call. We have some new team members. I'm excited to see new faces on the call. Very, very excited about that. So before we kick off our call with our guest speaker, I want to give some shout outs. I want to give first, I want to do the rank advancements for Wendy, who officially joined our team under her husband. And in 1 week, less than 1 week, excuse me, she hit the rank of Emerald and is already a Success Club 6. You go, girl. And Bernice, who she brought in, was like in competition because she's an Emerald too and is already a Success Club 6. So, Bernie, congratulations. You are rocking it, girl. So, congrats to all of our newbies. It's really excited to see the team grow. And I want to go over our Success Club earners so far. So Wendy again and Bernie at Success Club 6. We have our girl CeeLo at Success Club 6. Our girl Carol at Success Club 8. Should have been 10, but she started the month with a return at -2. So go Carol. My brother Luis at Success Club 6. And Ana Tejeda, who is chilling in DR and clothed someone today and is at Success Club 6. I don't think I missed anyone. There are people here who are at Success Club 4 and 2, and we still have a lot of time left in the month for you guys to help one or two more people, or three if you're still at 0, which is no big deal, right? So before we give the floor to Shelly, I want to formally introduce her. Tonight, she is going to be covering a very important topic. I reached out to her because she has the skills. If you guys go on her Facebook is popping. She is really great at just putting her story and sharing her story with, using great pictures and apps, and I'm not good at that stuff, so I had to bring someone who is an expert at that. So Shelly, I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself in terms of how you got introduced to Beachbody, but I want to share with you guys that Shelly is a mommy. She's a stay-at-home mommy. She's going to tell us how that happened, and she is a wife, and she is a 4-star diamond coach. She is a premier 2014 premier coach, as well as a Success Club 10 legend, which means that Shelly has reached Success Club 10 for at least 24 months consecutively. So Shelly is the person to make sure that you guys are taking notes, and Shelly is just going to rock your world right now. This girl has a lot of energy, so make sure that you guys pay attention, take notes, and take it away, girl.
Yes, thank you. I always hear, like, when you get announced, doesn't it feel like, yeah, I got something going on, right? You feel good.
Wait, let me reintroduce you. I didn't say your last name, Sexy. Hang on.
Oh, yeah, no, I can't go.
Girl, hang on. Shelly. So the floor is yours, Shelly Herodias.
Thank you. I'm Renee Nottingham Herodias. So I was very British. I was Nottingham. That's my maiden name. And then I married a Filipino. So I became very cultured. Okay. No, I'm not really. I'm still just a honky from Arizona, right? But originally I am from California. And like she said, I'm a mom. I've been coaching. I always say, like, I started coaching when I found out I could get a discount, save some money, and get my shake. So I did that in the summer of 2013. I was in my very first challenge group, and I stumbled upon it on Instagram. My coach found me on Instagram, which is why I really need to tap into that market a little bit better. I've been trying to be vigilant about my Instagram and build my market there, and you all should as well. But again, as we delve into the topic tonight about making your social media pop, this can apply to any, wherever you choose to use your social media, whether it's Snapchat or Twitter or Instagram, Pinterest, whatever you're using. But my coach found me on Instagram. That's where I was found. And I was just a frumpy mom, post C-section number 3, married to that fit Filipino man that was hitting the gym every morning. And I was just really sick and tired of feeling like the frumpy mom and wife and out of shape. I was had kind of lost myself in having children. So I was willing to do anything. And once I saw an advertisement on Instagram for a challenge group, I was like, hell yes, sign me up. And that's kind of how I stumbled upon it. And then I started coaching probably about like 3 weeks into my challenge group because I wanted my next bag of Shakeology, and lo and behold, I found out you could actually get a discount for the stuff. So I bought my first challenge back, which was Les Mills Combat, and the rest is history. I had no intention of ever coaching. I worked a 9 to 5. I had a 6-month-old, a 2-year-old, and a 4-year-old. So that was kind of, my plate was full, but I really, really loved the way I felt. I loved what Shakeology had done for me just in that 3 weeks. And I was, it was a no-brainer for me. If I could save some money and drink something that I was loving the way I was feeling, count me in. So I stumbled upon coaching, and like I said, had no intention of ever actually using it like as a business. It was more so a hobby. Plenty of people saw this change in Shelly and saw that I had this extra, pep in my step, and that I was, glowing and I was energetic. And I instantly started sharing what I was doing, because I use social media as a platform to share my family and, what I'm up to, my friendships, that type of thing. So it was very organic for me to share the fact that, hey, now I'm on my weight loss journey. I'm going to, work out from home. I started drinking this awesome shake called, Shakeology. I didn't even need prompting from my coach to do that. I was just like, hell yeah, I got this green box. It's going to change my world. I'm going to take a picture of it and post it. So that was the first thing that I did in sharing my journey with coaching. So my start date as a coach, sure, was June, July-ish of 2013, but I didn't actually put eyes on the fact that this was a business until January of 2014. And once I did that, everything changed. And I was already a diamond when I realized that this was a business, because I shared and screamed it from the rooftops how I was feeling. And I don't care if it was in person, social media, whatever. So getting to diamond, I did that in like 52 days. It happened very quick and very naturally and organically, because I was just so hype about what I was doing. I wanted to share that. And I wasn't doing it in a salesy way. You see what I mean? And I think that that's where people go wrong. It's a turnoff to come across as constantly having these calls to action versus sharing what it's done for you, and you'll always hear that facts tell and stories sell. So my story sold. Everyone wanted to buy into the story because Shelly was now having this amazing change, and I was sharing it not only on social media, but in person. So I started in 2013, but I really started setting goals in coaching and realizing that there's a substantial income that could be made here in 2014. So those first 6 months, I was a diamond. I was hitting Success Club every single month. My first month as a coach, I hit Success Club 18, and I didn't even know what Success Club was. But I was just feeling really great about how what I was doing, and I knew that other people could feel great about it too. So that's the cornerstone. And whenever all else fails, and I get my sights set on these big goals. I just missed Elite this past year. I lost my 5-star in week 6. I lost it on Christmas, week 6 of qualifying, which, if you guys know, when you get past the diamond rank and you get into the star diamond ranks, you guys become a diamond immediately, but we have a little 6-week qualifying period, and it's hell. You want so badly for your team to hold on and grow, and missing that was upsetting to me. But guess what I did? I went back to the basics. Back to what made me feel good, back to the 3 vital behaviors, back to just being a product of the product, inviting people, and, fortifying myself with personal development. So those are the things that never will fail you. So about making your social media pop. One thing that I want to, and I'll probably reiterate this towards the end of the call, I took a couple notes, because my biggest thing is whenever we do these team calls, I want you guys to walk away tonight and be able to apply what I'm telling you here to your business. I want you to kind of look at your social media through different lenses. And one thing that I'm going to share first is something that I picked up on from a top coach, actually, was it Melanie Mitro on the top 10 panel? We just got back from our Success Club cruise, and Melanie Mitro shared a really awesome way that she starts creating a culture of inviting through social media and sharing your story through social media without doing it so hardcore. It's just really natural. And again, it's what I did when I first got my challenge pack. I held it up. I took a picture and was like, hey friends, look at, I just got Les Mills Combat and Shakeology. So excited to start my 60-day program. You guys hold me accountable. I'm going to be sharing my progress right here on my social media. Anyone who's game to do this with me, come on, let's do this. Very natural way to share something. So if you yourself are a brand new coach and you have not yet openly shared what you're doing on your social media, that is the opening of your storefront. Because your social media is not just your family, scrapbook, and it's not a place to play games, and it's not a place to, share news and funny things. Sure, it could be some of those things too sprinkled in, but it is your storefront, and this is your business, and that's what needed to click before I was successful in this business. When my coach would say business to me, and my coach would give me, these business activity trackers and tell me to track my friends and invite my friends and do it systematically, I thought he was crazy. I was like, no. Like, I'm a mom. I'm just trying to, get fit. I want to share this with friends, but I don't know that, this is a business. I worked a full-time job for my first year as a coach. Those first 6 months when I was a diamond and he was telling me to do these things, I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like, he legit views his social media as his workspace, and it was hard for me to have that click. But once that clicked, everything changed, and the way I treated social media changed, and the way I shared my story changed. So I want you guys to think about that. Look at your social media. What story does it tell? This is now your billboard. You're a walking billboard. It's now your little reality TV show, and you want people to tune in, and you want people to be excited about what you're sharing. So look at yours. Take a good, hard, honest look at what you're posting, what it looks like, and how often you're posting, and tell me, is that a story that you would tune into? Would you come back for more? What's setting you aside? What's attracting you to those people that you want to help, that you want on your team? So take a look at that. So it was those first 6 months that I kept doing the family scrapbook. And then January of 2014, I realized, wow, this is a business. So for 6 more months, I went in, and I was exactly at my 1-year anniversary as a coach, and I retired myself from my corporate America job. I worked a 9-to-5 as a business office manager, billing Medicare and Medicaid in the healthcare industry, or the sick care industry. Now I work in healthcare. I would say, I worked in sick care, now I work in healthcare. And that was a big step, because I was making 80 grand a year. So for me to walk away from that substantial income, it was scary. Like, that was a guaranteed income for my family. So, but I took a leap of faith because I believe so deeply in this. So if you want big results, you have to think that this can be big, and you have to view it big, like a $1 million business from day one. From day one, if I'd have done that 6 months earlier, where would I have been? So no crying over spilt milk. We're going to hop right into it. Making your social media pop. I already told you about viewing it as a storefront. You're open for business 24 hours, 7 days a week. People are there. People are looking. People are viewing, even if you don't think they are. So if you don't get immediate results in what you're doing, please stay vigilant. Don't give up. Don't get depressed. Don't stray from your, a lot of times in this business, it's very easy to compare yourself to other coaches, especially like even if it's a girl that you started with at the same time. You're like, oh man, Lucy, you started the same time as Sally, and look at these two. They're both diamonds, and here I am stuck at emerald. Doesn't mean anything. You put your head down, put your blinders on, focus on what's going to bring you results, and make that work for you, and keep going. Don't give up. The trick is to be here in 1 year. Who in this call is going to be here in 1 year? You going to be here in 12 months, or is this just another phase, another fad? No, you need to be here, because you got to show up. If you want to become an entrepreneur and become financially free, that's not handed to you in 3 months, 6 months, 8 months. It takes work, and you have to work at it, and it's so rewarding. The work is so rewarding. Like, I'd much rather be sitting here with my kids and not paying my $1,500 a month, what is it called, daycare bill, and be working and playing with social media and inviting people and creating, a pretty atmosphere and fun pictures. I much rather do that than be sitting in that shitty office 9 to 5. So stay vigilant and never lose that. Even in the tough times, know that it's going to get tough, and it's going to, there's going to be ebbs and flows, just like in anything in life. Not everything is always easy, and anything worth having, you got to work for. So your storefront, I want you to filter yourself too. There's a lot of things that people share on social media that if you're going to be a coach and you're going to be inspiring people and motivating people, you probably need to filter yourself about. I mean, I'm not saying, I'm very unfiltered. I am who I am in person as I am on social media. I think I'm funny. I share funny shit. I cuss. Even my shirt, it says, I love Jesus, but I cuss a little, because it's true. I love Jesus, but I cuss a little. So I don't filter myself too much, but I'm not going to be somebody who's a negative Nancy on social media. So be vigilant about that. Watch what you share, the types of things that you share, And then when you start to, this is a whole nother call, but I want to touch on this a little bit. And I probably am not the right person to touch on this, but Julissa Fernandez is a great person to touch on this she's very good at marketing, but about talking to your avatar. I don't know if you've shared any of those webinars, Gabby, the team calls and stuff. Those are really good. And I think it would behoove you to get started on this earlier than later. Like I started later because I'm the type of person who's a free spirit, and I think everybody's my avatar. I think everybody could be a great coach. I think everybody should be on my team, and probably would have been more successful if I would have honed in on my specific niche market and who I'm talking to. So think about that when you're crafting your posts. Who do you want on your team? What does that person look like? And you could dive very, very deep into this, and you'll see that on some webinars. If Gabby wants to share this information with you guys, it's really in depth. So those are something to think about. But just off the bat, whenever I craft my posts nowadays, I really focus on like moms, people that feel the way I do. If it's something that I'm posting in regards to, maybe it's a Monday morning and everybody's getting off and they drop their kids off at daycare and at school, and I'm home with my kids. Like I'm out at the park and we're messing around and we're, doing crafts. And I share that in a way that is appealing towards moms who want to then also be home with their kiddos and be able to have that. There's very simple ways to craft your posts that you're speaking to your target audience. So whoever that target audience is, I know it's all different for us. For me, I probably need to narrow it down a little bit more, but I know that it's moms, and I deal with older people. I don't really do good with the younger crowd. Like I like older people. I like people that are 35 plus. Like those are my people. So that's the type of thing to think about. Another really good thing that I learned at the New Leader Conference was when Melanie Mitro said, it was so funny because she was so excited. She had this amazing idea. She's like, I'm going to run this challenge group, and it's going to be a bikini boot camp for all the moms getting ready for spring break. Woo woo, bikini boot camp. Everyone's going to show up. Nobody showed up, because her target audience isn't going to spring break. We're at home. We're moms. Like we're not doing a bikini boot camp. We're not getting in bikinis for spring break. So those are things to think about when you're crafting your posts and who you're talking to. So the next thing that I want to go over is the fact that when you do craft your posts, and I don't know if you guys listen to Gary Vaynerchuk. He's going to be our keynote speaker at Summit this year, but he is amazing. He has a lot of content on YouTube, some stuff you got to weed through. If you don't like people that cuss, like this guy's not for you. Like he's, if you're easily offended, he's not for you, because he gives it to you straight. He gives it to you raw. But something that I take away from viewing Facebook is being very methodical about your posts. Okay. To me, I view it as there's 3 different types of posts that you should be doing as a coach. And it's a fine balance when it comes to these posts. You don't want too much of one or too much of the other. You don't want to look like you have a sales site going and you're like, hey, T25 is on sale for $205. It's $190. You don't want to have this crazy Beachbody sales site. You have to remember that you are your business. You are your business. Beachbody is not your business. They're not your identity. Their sales stuff and all their imagery and all that stuff that they have is for them. That's their business. That's Carl's business. Our business is our business. It's our team, what we're trying to portray on social media. So you can never lead with Beachbody. You have to lead with you. So I always lead with Shelly. I'm my own business, and how I create my business is up to me. And it's always about how you leave people feeling. And you do that a lot by visual stimulation. People are very, very visually driven. So visually, you create a feeling by your visual images. So think about that when you're posting. I'll get into that about apps. I know a lot of people get stressed out about apps. I am flattered that Gabby said I'm a pro at it, but I'm really not. I just really love scrapbooking. Like I like to scrapbook. My mom turned me on to scrapbooking. I love to create cute little things. So if I could scrapbook and cut and paste stuff with scissors and glue, why can't I do that on an app and make a virtual scrapbook? So that's kind of how I view making my images, as a virtual scrapbook. So I'll go over that. But back to the 3 different types of posts. I see the 3 different types of posts, and you could write this down. Number 1, every single day, or at least, whatever works for you. I don't want to implement how often you should be doing whatever XYZ, because I know my coaches always said, post 3 times a day and do this 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, the law of 3 and blah, blah, blah. And in real life, that doesn't always happen. Sometimes you post 5 times, sometimes you post 2 times, like whatever works for you. I don't want you to be a robot. Like you feel it, post it. and furthermore, before I get into those 3 types of posts, stop and look at your business through different lenses. There is so many opportunities throughout the day to post that you don't even think about, that you miss because you're not looking at them through the right lenses, through the right eyes. So even this call right now, this is a call that we're having, that we're discussing, learning. You could post about this and people go, I wonder what kind of call she's on. I wonder, she has a team call with, a couple, with, a handful of people, over a dozen people took their night out to have a little conference Zoom call about growing their business or helping other people. Like, that's interesting. So that's a reason to post. Like, I used to post every night. I'm like, oh, tonight's my team call. I'm so excited. And that perks up people's ears. Like, oh, what's the team call? So those are little things that you could post about throughout the day. Like I said, crafting it to be geared towards your niche market. Like, I'm so thankful I could, read this book this afternoon and not have to be at work. Like, I'm sitting under a tree enjoying this PD and this is part of my job. And people go, why is her part of her job reading a book? You didn't just, hard sell somebody or hard invite people, but you're planting little seeds and then you water your seeds. You got to plant and water. So the 3 different types of posts, number 1 is adding value posts, strictly adding value. These are the types of posts that you should view almost like you're fishing and you're just throwing your net out there and you're just, catching some fish with your net. And I hate to say that because it's kind of weird because we're talking about people here, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. You're just putting your fish out there. And when you're adding value, I'm talking about recipes, DIY, like people love babies and dogs, like things, tools that people could actually use and apply, that they'll go, thanks. Oh, did you see this website? Blah, 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 blah. Oh, Target has cute, workout clothes on sale. You're adding value. You're giving somebody something that they could use. And that usually piques people's interest, especially recipes and DIY stuff and homeopathic remedies, those types of things. And these are all things, you guys, that you could just Google. Make Google your best effing friend. Like, make it your friend. Don't even go to your coach and ask some crazy off-the-wall stupid question unless you've Googled it or YouTubed it first. Like, please don't. Like, just do your due diligence. That is the sign of somebody who's going to succeed. Somebody who wants an answer and they seek it out. And if they can't find it, then they go ask the person. Your coach is there for you, but wouldn't it be great to just be able to I got it. Like, I found that shit on myself. You know what I mean? That's where you want to be. So that feels good to be able to be self-serving in that way, that you're able to figure your own shit out. So figure that out. But Google whatever you need to Google, share whatever you need to share, and do it to a sense that what your audience is, you're adding value to your audience. So that's post number 1. So now you got people's attention, right? You got a new audience. These people are interested in what you have to say. Now it's time to share your story, okay? That's the next type of post. Post number 2 is sharing your story. You can't share your story all day long every day, and you can't be freaking, adding value all day long every day, and you can't have a call to action all day long every day. You have to sprinkle a little bit of everything in there. I even look at my social media, and if I have too much health and fitness stuff or too much nutrition shit, I'm like, oh, hell no, I got to throw a picture of my kid in there. You know what I mean? Like, it's just too much. I don't want to be that girl. I have a family to share too, so I really, make it work for me. And you guys, let me tell you a little trick too. If it happened yesterday, you could still post it. If it happened 2 weeks ago, you could still post it. Last night, we were getting ready to do the sneak peek into coaching, and I noticed I had too much coach stuff. So I was like, oh, I got a picture of my baby at the park. That was from 2 days ago. She wasn't hanging out at the park last night. That was 2 days ago. But I needed something to break up the monotony, and show that this is part of my family too. She still is. You're not a liar. Believe me, plenty of coaches do this. So if you have stuff that's older and you need to post some stuff, post it. But make sure that you don't have challenge group, challenge group, challenge group, challenge group, challenge group, constantly back to back and nothing else. Because people will be like, slow down. You know what I mean? You don't want to look like a desperate Debbie. You need everyone to join your challenge group. Like, calm your ass down and sprinkle some other stuff in there. So that is number 2, is telling your story. And there's a fine art when it comes to telling your story. And like I said, there's many opportunities to tell your story. Seriously, like, I'm drinking my Shakeology. I could tell my story by, Thursday night at 7 o'clock, like, before, when I was dying of hunger and I had no food in the house to cook and I was too lazy to cook, my ass would have ran to Del Taco and gotten something. Today, I'm happy that I have my Shakeology. How this stuff has changed my life. That's part of my story. That's my story is the real deal. That's it. I was running around. I was at football. I was busy. My story is, on the go, I have this to drink. I'm not being a salesperson. That's my real deal life. Like before, I would have hit up a fast food restaurant. Today, I would have done this, so there's a fine way to share your story. And you can't hide behind social media. You have got to be transparent, and you have got to talk about the tough things that you don't want to talk about. And guess what? People will root for you. People love the underdog. People don't, like there was such an outpouring of support for me when I tell my story and I'm real, when I'm like, just really open up to the way I feel and to way, the fact that, I try to, you guys, I try to put on my jeans and I can't button them and it's depressing and it sucks. Like I want to get up and do something about it. Does anyone else feel like this? Like you just told if that's your story, then tell it. You know what I mean? Don't have any shame in your game. Tell your story, because people are going to relate to you and relate to that story. And you're going to then capture, their hearts, and that's what's going to give you that connective tissue, and you're going to form a bond with these people that you put your fishing net out and you caught them because you've shared something of value. Now they're interested in your social media. Now you need to connect. You guys need to have that common ground that you could connect upon. And it's not going to be everybody, but believe me, you're going to connect, and you're going to have to share not only your successes and but your failures too. I mean, to be real, it is what it is. So that's the second type of post. And then the last type of post would be, now that you've got their attention, they know that you could add value. They know that you're a real person. You've shared some real raw stuff. You've shared your successes. You've shared these things. You've sprinkled it in. They feel like they know you through social media. And the other thing I do is I always invite people to connect with me. I make it so friendly that they feel like they can message me at any time. You guys wouldn't believe how many messages I get that say, man, I hope you don't think I'm like a weird stalker, but we're friends on Facebook and I don't even know how we became friends. And I'm sitting back like, I do, because I friend requested you. You know what I mean? And they're like, but I want to tell you, your post really inspired me today. That is a perfect opportunity to start a conversation with somebody that clearly needs something more in their life. Clearly, they reached out to you for a reason. And it takes a lot of balls to do that, because people are scared to do that. You don't know how many people have joined our team after saying, I watched you for a year and I was afraid to ask something. Even when you're waving the red flag saying, join me, join me, join me, they still don't want to join you. So sometimes it just takes a lot of time, but I try to keep my posts really we're old friends. Girl, we know each other. And I even talk to people like that. However you talk in real life, you need to talk to them like that on social media. Don't be so stringent. You have to understand that typing doesn't have emotion. So you need to, I always tell my coaches, don't type the way they taught you to in school. Don't be so perfect with your grammar. Be real. Keep it, use your little emojicons. Keep it friendly and keep it, loose, because it's less, it's more disarming when you do that. So that would be the third type of post, is having your call to action post. So now that you've told your story, you got all that going, it's time to say, hey, I have a common solution to a very common problem, or I have a very good solution to a very common problem. And that's, hey, we're starting a challenge group. We're all going to do it. It's 22-minute hardcore. It's 22 minutes. It's 8 weeks. We're going to get in and do it together. If anyone needs this, it's open to the public. Let's do this. I could give you all kinds of details. That's your call to action. But you don't want your social media filled with a ton of call to actions, because it's too much and it's too salesy. And maybe some of the top coaches could get away with that because they've really put in the legwork and they've been here for 3 to 4 years building this following, and people that go to their pages know what they're about. But you still have to start with sprinkling in your story and giving people some sort of value before you just call to action. It's like jab, 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 right hook. It's just like Gary Vaynerchuk's book, Jab, 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 Right Hook. So that's what I want you to think about. And then you guys do know this, and I want to reiterate this. Facebook works on what's referred to as an algorithm. It's your Facebook algorithm or your edge rank. So I want you to literally be a stalker, okay? Start now. Start stalking early. If you have your paper, maybe it's your book, maybe it's your notebook, maybe you're crafty and you set up Facebook groups. Like I have Facebook networks where I could filter it and I could see only my family on my news feed, or I could see my 2015 coaches, my 2016 coaches. I could see my Team Eagle peeps. I could see my form list. So that's first and foremost. If you guys are not working on a form list, you are poking in the dark. You need to have a direction every single day if you're working this business methodically. So you should have 3 lists in a sense. You should have your form list, And those are the people that you are going to and visiting their Facebook every single day, every other day. You are interacting with them. You are liking their photos. You are commenting on their photos. Hey, girl, cute baby. Oh, my gosh, where'd you get those shoes? Oh, the beach looks so nice, blah, blah, blah. That is going to up your edge rank with that person. So now Facebook knows that you interact with Sally Sue, so now they're going to show Sally Sue all of your posts. And that's how Facebook works. You don't just, if you have 600 friends, you're only seeing 60 of their posts. You get it? So you better target the people that you want on your team, or that have showed interest in health and fitness, or potentially could join your next challenge. You make it a point to have genuine connections with them. I'm not saying like just go out and be a freaking shark and stalk whoever because you're trying to sell a challenge pack. That's not what this business is about. Literally make sure it's somebody that you want to help and that you could see potentially benefiting from this. So go out there and make friends, more or less. So that is how Facebook works. Even if you do what we call Hey Girl Hays or Hey Boy Hey. So this means you're going to message that person out of the blue. Like you could comment, like on some of their stuff, and there's going to be something on their Facebook that makes you say, hey, I'm going to message them. Like something as simple as, hey, I seen that post that you put up yesterday and I really needed to hear that. Like I was in a funk myself. I don't get like that often, but I, scrolled by your Facebook page and it literally lifted me up. Thanks for posting that. That simple. You just privately inbox message them and you started a line of communication with these people. So that really gets them looking at your Facebook. So make sure that you're aware that Facebook works on an algorithm and that you're using a form list, and you know that these people on this list, you're going to hit up their Facebook every single day. Start with 10 people, start with 50 people, whatever you got to do. And the other thing is don't rely upon your Facebook. Like I almost think when you're doing a form list and you're working off a form list, it's better to have it on paper, because if you're on your mobile device, which many of us are, you're scrolling through it, you'd have to scroll back and forth between your notes or wherever you have that list. It's better to have it on paper, so you could say Sally Sue, bloop, 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 go like her photos, comment. You could go to Jenny, go like her photos, Bobby, Gabby, whoever it is, you have your list right there, and then you could know that you at least visited that person. It's almost like a memory jogger. You visited their Facebook every day, not to invite them. If you're not at that list, you're still forming. You're still getting to know these people. But then your second list will be invite. So I make 3 columns on a piece of paper: form, invite, and follow-up. Form, invite, follow-up. If that person has already been invited, then you need to swap back to the follow-up.
Hang on a sec. Sorry, my son's acting up. But I just wanted to interrupt very quickly because we have, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, because we have some newbies that are going through Coach Basics.
Cool.
And they have no idea what form is. So if you can just, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's like family, occupation, recreation, and message. It's just an acronym. You don't even got to call it form. You could call it whatever the hell you want to call it. I just call it getting to know my friends and being present on my Facebook. And it's very scary when you first start this business. I got 6 friends. My coworkers. That's what kind of gets you out there, is really getting to know people, because we have what's called our warm market, and that's our friends and family, and they're gonna be excited because they're gonna be the first people to see us, right? They're gonna be the first people that are gonna go, man, look at Shelly. She feels great, and like she's hanging out with these people on Facebook, and she's like part of this team now. She's doing Beachbody. She feels good. But when those people that know us and see us all the time and see us at work, and other moms that we know, when those people are all said and done and they know your song and dance and what you're up to, and they haven't joined yet, maybe they just take longer than others, maybe some of them have joined, some of them aren't. What's next? Who's your next market? If you didn't make friends and you didn't get comfortable talking about what it is you're doing, and that you're a part of these challenge groups and you're trying to, you're helping people, then you don't have anyone to market to. So you really want to form relationships with people, and that's all that means, is you're getting to know them. Ask them about their family. Ask them about their occupation. Ask them what they like to do about their recreation. Ask, and give them your message. So basically that's what forming is. And it just gets to a place where you have a rapport with somebody. That way, when you do go to invite them, it's not like you came out of the blue. It's like, who's this Shelly chick? We've never interacted. She sent me a friend request. Now all of a sudden she's inviting me to her challenge group. It just looks like that's like all you want out of life is to be self-servant, to get what you want out of it, it's not about them. You didn't really take time to invest in them. If it's not important to you to invest in them, it's not important for them to invest in you, and you're just keeping it real. So that's what forming is, and it's really one of the most important aspects of this business. You can't expect everybody to trust you right away and jump on board and be excited about what you're excited about. Sure, there's going to be people that are ready to drink the Kool-Aid right away, but there's other people that take a little bit of time, and you really want to show up and be active and present in their life. If you show interest in other people's lives, they're going to show interest in yours. And just by Facebook, that's kind of how it works. Whoever you interact with most is who you're going to see their posts most. So just keep aware of that. So, okay, next thing I want to jump into is like the apps. And I'm going to tell you guys some of my favorite apps. And I didn't just like fall off the turnip truck and was great at apps. So one thing, especially for the brand new coaches, let me stop myself and rewind, because I'm going to get to this at the end, and I'm going to really, let me just get to it before we get into this. Because whenever I start talking about apps, people go like, I can never do that. I can't make it look like that. You're so good at that. And I never, even on my own team, I never want to make my coaches or my team feel like, yeah, babe, did you need something? Oh, my bad. Oh. I missed that, whatever the last two listed. Okay, sorry. But I never want to make my friend. Do you need me?
Yeah, sorry. He's crying, so I didn't want.
That's okay.
You were going over the 3 lists that they should have.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You said just to reiterate. Form. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just to reiterate, it was form, invite, and follow up. Sorry, I didn't know if you guys caught that. So that's my list of 3. So I form, and then when I'm ready to, when I've had a relationship or a rapport with somebody, or maybe we've opened that line of communication because I've done a good job, making myself present in their life and vice versa. Now we're at a space now where I feel confident about inviting them. And not to say that you can't do cold invites. Plenty of coaches do this, and plenty of coaches are very successful with this. So it's completely up to you and your comfort level. I cold invite people all the time, but it just depends. So where you want to be. And then I have them on the invite list. Those are people that I'm ready. Like, I encourage all of you guys to leave right now. And the very first thing you should do is make the list of who you can invite. Who can you invite tonight? Who can you invite tomorrow to join your next challenge group? Who do you know well enough right now that you're like, hey, I can totally ask her, like, hey, do you want to do this with me? So invite first, and then next kind of keep an idea of when you're going through those people you're going to invite. Think about the ones that you're like, maybe I need to spend some more time forming a relationship with them. And now you have a direction every day on your social media. I'm going to go form with them. And then next would be follow-up. So obviously if you invited them, you didn't hear back from them, 24 hours, you guys, 24 hours. Give them a chance to see the message, register, but you have to understand, when people see messages and they don't respond right away, sometimes it's because they got busy and they missed it, not because they don't want to respond. They just got busy. So if it's not important to you, it's not important to them. So make sure that you follow up with them. So that's the list of 3. The 3 different types of posts were adding value, telling your story, and your call to action post. And then the list would be your form, invite, follow up. And then going on to the apps, I wanted to drive home that at this top 10 panel that we were hearing for, are we good on time? Wave to me when we're, okay. At this top 10 panel that we were, that we saw on the cruise, on the Success Club cruise that we just went on, they had obviously the top 10 elite coaches in the network there. And one thing that I really took away from it, and I wanted to say it on this call, just because I know that, when it gets into like starting to look at your Facebook more as a storefront than what you were comfortable with before, it kind of gets weird, and you feel, you overthink things. So one thing that Jeff Hill, who I'm sure most of you guys know who Jeff Hill is, but he's our VP. Is he VP of sales? I don't know. He's up there. He's Carl's right-hand man. Jeff Hill, he asked Amy Silverman, who is an amazing top coach, he said 2 things. If you were to pick out a quality in somebody that you knew right off the bat, like they got it, they got what it takes to be a successful coach, what would that quality be? And she said, people, well, I don't think she cussed on stage, but people who don't give a shit what other people think about them. So that's the first tool. That's the first arsenal. That's the first thing. Like, it's so awesome to see somebody who's so confident and unapologetic in what they're doing. Like, when I rest my head at night, when I go to sleep at night, I don't care what people think about me because it's none of my business. I know I'm good with what I do. So that's the first tool that you guys, you can't give. When you do these, when you post, when you share, when you do your call to actions, when you invite, you can't give a shit about the outcome. You can't. You got to be okay with it. So don't overthink this stuff. And when it comes to building, your images and making your social media really pop, don't overthink it. Don't waste hours on one picture. It's not going to help you. Like, just keep it simple. I always say KISS, keep it simple, stupid. Just keep it simple, stupid. Don't even worry about, if it looks the way you want it to look right away. It takes a little bit of practice to get there, but you'll get there. So number one, that was something Amy said, is overthinking is a complete waste of time. And I could not agree more. So when I get into this app stuff, please don't, just play around with it. You'll get good over time. You'll find shortcuts. Maybe you find apps that work for you. I'm just going to give you tips that I use for attraction marketing. Attraction marketing has been my biggest tool in my success in my business, and I want it to work for you to the point where you can actually craft your social media to look like a place that is so appealing to other people that they come to you. Okay, they now come to you, and you could walk away from your social media for, 12 hours, 16 hours. I hope you don't, 2 days, whatever you got to do. But if you step back from your social media, can Shelly come onto your social media and tell, hey, this girl's a coach. She has a team. She has a family. I relate to her. She's healthy. She has something going for her. I know mine. You can. You could go and scroll, and you could clearly see there's some shit going on in my world, So I want yours to look like that too. So big ups to the girl drinking her wine right there. Good for you, girl. Get your wine. Yeah, girl. Okay, so now, one thing that I do is I love to look at advertisements and marketing. And some of my favorite ones that I look at is like your Nike. I like Fabletics. I like Victoria's Secret. I like those big name, big box. They pay millions of dollars on marketing and advertisement and sales department. Even Bravo. Do I got any Real Housewife watchers? I'm all about the Real Housewives. I was watching one the other day, and they had all these beautiful. Their colors were like, I think it was like Beverly Hills. All of the girls were wearing the rose dresses, and then the Real Housewife was like in rose, and the font was real pretty. So pay attention to things that catch your eye, and that. Companies obviously that are big, they've made it for a reason. They're catching a lot of people's eyes. And marketing is really funny in the sense that they put stuff in front of your face, till it takes off. And that's what you need to do with your business. Put it in front of their face, and make it visually appealing until it takes off. So I want you to even dissect magazines. I don't know if you guys are high end and you like Vogue or you like, fitness magazines. Look at the fonts, look at the images, look at the, watch commercials, look at all that stuff. I see my little carrot souffle. Who's a carrot souffle? Hi, girl. Okay, so look at those things and try to emulate them in your images. The other thing, obviously, that we could all do is look at the top coaches. There's a lot of top coaches out there that I'm like, oh, I relate to her. And there's other ones that I'm like, I don't get her. Or, we're all so different. That's what's beautiful is we all are, our vibe attracts our tribe, and we all attract different people for different reasons. So maybe you find a couple of the top coaches that you like, that you get their style, but don't, emulate it. Don't copy it. Don't duplicate it, emulate it. Right. So make it your own. And, when it comes to apps, my favorite apps, number one is Photofy. I love Photofy. Number two is Rhonna, RHONNA, and Photofy. I kind of like A Beautiful Mess. Yeah, find your flavor. That's it. Just find your flavor. And you could get inspiration from other people, but I don't want you to lose yourself in that. Really, real quick, let me get off topic real quick. It's kind of on topic. Amy Silverman had said on, we had this Best in the West. I'll send it to you. It's a really good call, Gabby. It's on YouTube, and our West Coast market did these calls with these top 10 coaches to kind of help us last year, and hers really stuck out. It was really cool. She said that she tells her new coaches to go follow the top coaches for, I think it was like 30 days or 60 days, and then they have to unfollow them. Follow them for 30, 60, because you don't want to get blinded by what other people are doing. Now you know what they do. You can kind of see a pattern. You see how they post. You see what they do. You see this rhythm, but don't waste your time looking over there. It's time to put your blinders on and focus on what Shelly's going to do with her business. You have kind of an idea, almost like a guideline. That way you don't get caught up in like comparing yourself to somebody who's been in this business 4, 5, 6, 5 years. It's very easy to do that. Like, why am I not as successful as her? Blah, blah, blah. So you don't want to do that. But you could definitely take points from these people. And you could take points from, like I said, the advertisements. So my favorite apps, I use multiple apps to make one picture. A lot of times what I do is I go by feeling. I'm always feeling something. So I immediately know what my background wants to be. Very seldom do I actually write on the image. So say, okay, 22-minute hardcore. Shit, I don't have it on my computer. I was going to show you guys it. I'll share it with Gabby. She could share it with you. So say the other day I wanted to do an image for 22-minute hardcores coming up. I knew that I wanted like a really like chic looking army chick. But I don't want to put my writing on the actual image. I want to lay my image on top of a plain background. So immediately, a lot of things that I search in Google is plain black background, plain white background, plain colored background, chevron background, wood plank background. I do a lot of wood plank stuff. So then I use Fonto, which is another one of my favorite apps. That's PHONTO. So you guys use Fonto. And Fonto is where you could take that plain image and then you could take your picture of your chic army chick and you could lay that image on top of the blank image. So you have a smaller picture on the bigger picture and you could lay it on there in the shape of a star, an oval, a circle, a square. You could do multiple pictures. You know, when we do our sneak peek into coaching, I might write on a white background, sneak peek into coaching, and do a picture of all the coaches' faces that are going to be the hosts. So that's what you would use Fonto for. And then I would move over to Rana or Photofy to do my imaging, my writing, my dots, my lines. You always want to make it pop. And if you're going to write directly on the picture, like say you have a picture of yourself, you know, I see this picture of this guy down here. Let's see. Carlos Yambe. So Yambe. So I see this picture of Carlos down here, which is a great little picture. And his background is good because it's plain. So I could actually put some writing there in the grass or in the trees and it wouldn't be obstructed. But if you had something that had a bunch of junk in the background, maybe for me, if I took this picture of myself right now and I have all this shit back here, I have, you know, my countertops are messy, I would then use an app to put like a circle, you know, and then I have a plain background to write on. That will make you pop. And I actually have a tutorial. Remind me to send you 2 things. The image that I made I'm going to send you the image that I made for the 22-minute hardcore. I haven't posted it yet. I'll post it so they could see what I mean about layering. And then I'm going to send you a Rana tutorial that you know the coach Katie Flynn, her sister Erica Flynn did. So it's really easy. She basically just shows you what I went over with on Carlos's page. So again, think of it as a virtual scrapbook. Think of it as your advertisement for your storefront. How do you want it to look? And keep it clean. Don't take shitty pictures and post them because it's not visually stimulating. People aren't going to, you want to be a scroll stopper. Think scroll stopper. Think bright. Think not cluttered. Think crisp. Think clean. Think fonts. Don't use the same font. If you're saying, join us, coach, sneak peek, 8 p.m. Maybe join us is the same font, bold, and then coach is in cursive. Sneak peek is in a different font. You know, make it cohesive. Use 2 or 3 fonts and make them go together so it looks like an advertisement. So it's not just like join us, coach, sneak peek, all the same color, all the same font. Play with it a little bit so it looks visually stimulating. Add a border. The more you layer it, but you're not making it, does that make sense? Yeah, right? You're not cluttering it. You're just, you know, making it look pretty. So I'll share that stuff with you guys. And that's all I do really is I look at other people and I try to emulate it. And I know the types of things that I like and the color scheme. I try to keep things every single month when I do a challenge group. I always do a theme and I don't necessarily need to, and you don't necessarily need to. It's just something I like to do, but don't overthink it. Don't ever think you can't hit Success Club because you don't have a pretty picture or you don't have, you know, the proper, you know, theme or whatever. As long as you open your mouth and tell people what you're doing and how you feel, you are going to do what you need to do in this business. You're going to hit Success Club and you're going to do great at it. These are just little tips and tricks that could really help you and get you to pop. Isn't it nice to work smart, not hard?
I have a question, Shelly.
Yeah.
This is probably like 101. Hang on one second. Oh my goodness. My son's like on top of me. Hang on.
I'm used to it. You're good.
Poppy, he's like stuck in my, okay, here we go. So, might be 101, but you know how you said that you use different fonts? Do you use that all in Fonto? Because I use Fonto as well.
I don't use any fonts in Fonto, never have.
Oh, you have? You only do it to post like pictures on top of pictures? Is that the only reason?
That's
so
the only reason I use it.
Where do you, what app do you use for the different fonts?
Rana and Photofy.
But can you do it? I guess the reason I asked is because I always use Fonto for my fonts. I mean, I use other ones as well, but.
Do they have a good selection? Do they have a lot or not really?
Girl, I don't know how to use that stuff. I just keep it real simple.
I don't like that.
No, but I know. You're like that. I know, but that's what I'm asking. So I guess my thing is, do you know when you use like, let's say 3 different fonts, right, to make it look pretty, and then you use different colors. Like I've seen that where, you know, you're using like one color and then like different font, whatever. Do you do that at the same time, or you got to save it and then use another font? Does that make sense what I'm asking?
No, I always save a blank template because I don't know if I'm going to F up and want to change it, or maybe we're going to, you know, like that, like things that say Coach Sneak Peek. Why do I have to duplicate that? Like I'll save a blank one, then there might be one with mine, Saudi, Mickey's picture on it, and then I'll have a blank one. That way, if me and you, maybe Gabby's like, Shelly, let's do our own sneak peek. Hey, get out of here. I'm in the middle of a call. I'll whoop you senseless. Yeah, go ahead. So I have that blank template just in case I might need it later. You know what I mean? But yes, I jump from font. So like say my starting, and I don't always start in Fonto. The only reason I use Fonto is if I'm laying a picture over a picture. But if I have that template, then I need to, I save it and I hop over to Photofy and I upload it. I have noticed with Rana a lot of times lately, I did a Coach Sneak Peek. Here, can I share my screen real quick? Yeah? Are you good with that?
Yes, please.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Let me see. Share screen. Okay, let me go over here. So last night, just so we could see it for viewing purposes, I noticed that Rana a lot of times, which I really don't like. See right here. See how well, it doesn't look like it on mine. I don't know if you guys could tell, but this Backstage Pass, so I saved the background image that, you know, I might have Googled chic girl boss background. Okay. And this is what came up, a plain background with just some books and a little teacup and a, you know, whatever cookie that is. So that came up. I thought that was cute. And another thing is when this picture came up, it was super bright and vibrant. And I know that that's going to be too busy when I go to write on it. The picture itself, this little stack of shit, is going to be distracting for my, I'm sorry, is there children in the room? I am so sorry. I am horrible. I am so sorry. Okay. I love Jesus, but I cuss a little. So I know that this is going to be too distracting. So what I do is I go into, like, I did this in Rana, but I normally would go into Photofy. This is done on 2 different apps. First app, Rana, second app, Photofy. And I selected a square, just a plain square, like a white square, and I put the square completely covering the entire photo. I covered the entire photo with the square, and then I went to the opaque, so you could make it that you could control the opaque, and then I toned it down to where it's not plain white. I made it a little bit see-through. So do you see that shadow over it?
So the square is what's on top of the picture.
Yep, because it was too bright. If not, it would have been too distracting. So I made it.
Can you see these? And then you can continue telling us how you made this, because that looks fly. But you see how you have Backstage Pass in one font and in a different color, and then a sneak peek. Do you do that
separate?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. And then you save, and then you come back, and because that's the thing that I'm like, oh my God.
No, it's super easy. No, you just open up a new window. And this on Rana, the little tutorial I'm gonna send you is gonna help. I haven't found any. I haven't looked, truth be told, any good Photofy tutorials, but if you go on YouTube and search Photofy tutorial, I guarantee you some good ones will come up, as long as it's not some slow, old, boring, you know what I mean? There's probably some coaches that have done them, because they're so common. I mean, these are just what I use. I'm sure there's other great ones out there. I'm kind of like a creature of habit. If I get comfortable with it and it serves its purpose, I do it. I know I should branch out, but I'm always like, I'd rather be a master in one thing than a novice in many. Like, I don't chase the bright and shiny objects. And a lot of times I doubt myself. I'm like, gosh, should I go to Twitter, and should I be on Twitter, and should I do here? No, like, let me just stay in my lane. And I'm a mom, and I don't want to be too overwhelmed. Like, I just want to stick with what works. So basically, I saved my image. It was bright. And I covered the entire thing with a square, and then I made it my square. I control how see-through I want it, how, you know, light or dark I want it. And you could do that with any color. You know, you could do it black, gray, whatever colors they offer. Make your square whatever color you want it. You cover your entire photo. And then the other thing that sucks, like when you're in Rana or Photofy, is say, for instance, so you're done with your square, and then you go and open it up and you want to write Backstage Pass. Sometimes when it's based on layers, whatever you put down first, sometimes when you go to click on Backstage Pass and like change your typing around, it will freaking pull your square forward. So now your square is covering your Backstage Pass, and you're pissed off because you put all this work into it, and you can't get your Backstage Pass can't come forward because your square is bigger than your pass. So note to self, if you're doing an image where you're doing an overlay to make it smoky or tone it down or whatever, save it first, then reopen the saved image. So you might have to save multiple times, but you'll thank me in the long run, so you're not pissed off because you just ruined your picture and your 10 minutes of work, you know? So then basically, Rana, I did the square in the cover, and then I did the word Backstage Pass. And then I knew I have my favorite fonts, like in Photofy and Rana, that I always use. And you guys, please, for the love of Jesus, pay the damn 99 cents and remove the watermark. If you are posting your photo and in the corner it says powered by Photofy, it looks shitty. It looks cheap. It looks tacky. You got yourself a 99 cents or $1.90. I don't even care if it's $3. Pay the damn money and remove it, because this is now your business. This is your advertising. You don't want them advertising on your advertising. Like, it's stupid. So just pay the money. And then I went over to Photofy and I did the ... a sneak peek into. And then you see I did another overlay. I did this circle. I did it gray, and I made that a little bit opaque so it wasn't so bold. And then I did coaching, and I normally don't use shadows, but I used a shadow with coaching. And then I did the dots, and then I did my time, and I did this. So basically it was done in 2 different apps, and I saved it multiple times. And
so the white one in front was Rana?
Yeah, and you could do the squares. The squares and circles are both in Rana and in Photofy, so whichever one. The only reason I've been tripping on Rana lately is sometimes the words look pixelated. You know how they look blurry and pixelated? That is my biggest pet peeve. I don't want it to look like that. I want it to be really, really crisp and clean. Let me see if I could find other stuff that makes sense. And borders, don't use cheap, tacky borders. Don't do keep your picture clean. Go away, baby. I love you. Like this one. Okay, I did this for New Year's. This was the Your Year Challenge, right? 2016. So I got myself a plain white background. I used Fonto. But first, before I put the pictures on Fonto, I went to like Photofy or Rana, and I put this gold circle in the back. See that? So I made 2 gold circles, and then I went back in and I put these pictures over the gold circles so they kind of have a border. And then I did the Your Year Challenge, overlapped it, and then, you know, the arrow, and because it's time, and put a team logo on it. So just kind of layered it and played with it. That makes sense? Yeah, easy, huh? It's easy. You just got to play with it, I promise. It really is. And
that gold circle is where, in Rana or Photofy?
That gold circle is they're in both. The gold circle with the second gold circle around it is Rana, but they have a plain circle that's in Photofy. What else? All these I make and just layer. What else? Trying to think. This one I made all of this in Photofy. This is one of our teammates hit Success Club Legend. So I saved her picture, and I did a split picture with no border. See the white versus the gray? So she sent me her picture, and I did it in Photofy. Instead of selecting one image, I selected 2. So on one side, I put the picture of Vivian, and on the second picture, I put a plain white background. And then I wrote her name, added kiss lips, added a line, added this little circle, put the 24 months, put the arrows, put the congrats, success club, put another banner. So you kind of make it pop and layer. And that was completely all in Photofy. It's very fast too and easy once you get the hang of it. And you'll learn like, oh, these are my favorite ones. Like this, I always use this circle. I always use this banner. I always use this font or these arrows. And what's cool about these apps is you don't got to know where they are. All you have to do is use your search bar at the top. You could search arrows. You could search, you know, maybe you're doing a 22-minute hardcore, you know, advertisement. You could search, like I'll show you the one I just made. You could search military and see what comes up, maybe camouflage or some dog tags or whatever. Watch out, baby doll. Do you guys have any questions? I try to always leave time to open it up for questions, and I didn't do that, but feel free to ask any questions. I'll stop the screen share if it's bothering you. I'll show you these two.
Shelly, I have a question.
Yeah.
So my question is, how long does it take you to do like one post? And then do you pre-plan them ahead of time? Like, do you go Sunday, you say, okay, I have my post for Monday and Tuesday?
If I had to, if I worked 9 to 5, I would. And when I used to have to, I would. I mean, I knew that my lunch break was coming, and I knew that I wasn't going to take lunch because I knew I needed to be present on social media. I would follow up with people. You have to structure your time to whatever works for you. And furthermore, I noticed that I was actually better when I had less time. When I worked that 9 to 5, it was go over there, baby. That's loud. It was crucial. But yeah, I know a lot of people that schedule their posts, you know, on Sundays and do that. It's just not me. I like to be in the moment when it happens and try my best to, you know. Yeah, go ahead. So I don't, but I know plenty of people that do.
Yeah. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you have a job? You work 9 to 5?
Yes, I do. And sometimes at night as well. It all depends like on what's happening during the day. Like I take my work home. Yeah. And I feel like if I don't have them pre-planned, I may miss the opportunity. I look up and it's already 10 o'clock at night. And I didn't post anything during the day.
I hear that a lot. You know what? I think that's very, very common because people underestimate how, you know, fast the day passes. And you get sucked up in kids and work. And yeah, go. They're fine. Why is she crying? Oh, go ahead. Thank you. And they get sucked up in, you know, day-to-day life. I understand that. So it's really hard. It's almost like, it's almost even worth, I know this sounds crazy, but I tell this to my challengers when they have trouble getting all their containers in or eating their meal plan, to set your alarm on your phone and know to tell it to remind you, like post, like 3 times a day, post it, get it in the morning or first thing you do when your feet hit the floor, like that should be your priority before you even brush your teeth and to hop in the shower. Grab your phone, get it ready for the day. Post something motivational. Post something you read. Post something, you know, start thinking about ideas and saving them so that you know that you have them first thing in the morning, and set your alarm for lunch and then set your alarm for nighttime. And if and in the beginning, if you're doing images like this and it's taking a little bit more time than say saving an inspirational quote off Facebook, you probably are going to have to plan them ahead of time, the night before or on the weekend. You know, at least make a couple. You could still do the inspirational quotes and the things that you save and things that inspire you, but you do want to have a couple, you know, like this, at least for your call to actions, you know, for if you're advertising for a challenge group, have something like that already made up. And go between you and your team and make something and share it with each other, you know. Here, Gabby, I'll share I was telling you about the 22-minute one I made the other day. I still have to post it. I didn't post it yet, but so I saved this one. And I knew that I wanted like a super chic looking army chick. So I picked her. Thank you, baby. I'm on the phone. I'm on the computer. And then I saved a plain black background. And then I did the 22-minute and the word boot camp in Rana. And then I was more comfortable, and I used Fonto to put the image on the background. I saved a logo from there. And then I used just Photofy to write the words, because I'm more comfortable writing the words in Photofy than I am in Rana. I've used Photofy longer for the spacing and stuff. And I just made like 2 of them. And I'll post those. I just layered them. Oh, I can't hear you.
Sorry,
what happened?
How do you do the logo? How do you move in the logo into?
Okay, so I just
logo in a circle, and then you just have it saved that way. Is that what you did?
No, I went to Google. So I would find any logo I want. Literally, you guys, anything you want is on Google. It's all on Google. Let me show you. This is it. I would literally come over to, why can't I find Safari? Am I crazy?
Huh. At the bottom.
I can't see because the screen is like small. I don't see anything.
Right there.
Weird. Okay, so that's one that I've Googled. Chic Girl Boss Facebook cover pages. I literally type it in there. So the other day I said, okay, 22-minute hard corpse logo. Search, and you could search it as a PNG, which is cool too. But I would search it, and then I'd look for the one I liked, one that's less busy. So I'm like, oh, it's less busy. So I ended up saving this one. I knew that I liked that one. So then I went over to Fonto, and when I laid it on top of my black and my wood background, I told it to do it as a circle. So it tells you, do you want it a circle? And then I adjusted the size to make it smaller. So I just save whatever I want and adjust it as a size. See, even if you were doing, let me show you. Let's see. I know I did. Let me go to mobile uploads. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. This one, where am I photo? I can't see shit, I'm all over the place. Let me move this.
Well, be careful, man.
Maybe it's in here. So the other day, and here's when I hosted a fit club at the fountain, I Googled Bella Via, which is the name of my community, Bella Via neighborhood fountain. And they had plenty of pictures on Google of my fountain, and I just put all this stuff over it so that I could actually have that. I gotta close this. So I want to show you this one. I had the Spring Fling challenge group last month. How come I can't scroll down? Here. I had the Spring Fling challenge I had last month. I literally Googled, like I knew that I wanted it to feel like spring. So I knew that I wanted like vintage looking flowers, and I knew that I wanted a girl in a spring dress or a summer dress, because that was like the premise for my challenge, whatever I said there. Wear it in confidence this year. Wear your little white dress in confidence this year. So that was kind of the thing I was going for. So I did the Spring Fling challenge, and then I added this girl in Fonto. So I just Googled summer dress, white background. So I got pictures of models that were wearing summer dresses with a white background. And that's what I Googled, and I found one that I liked, and I laid that image right on there through Fonto. Yep. And then this is my banner that I made to go with my, so see what I mean with a theme? They all have the same color scheme. They all have the same vibe. They all have the same, whatever. I think that's pretty much it. The other thing that I do too, you guys, if you want, I don't know if you guys invite this way. See how my Spring Fling challenge is in that writing, and it's different than all the other writing? I actually use an app so that when you go to events, so when you go to my, oops, I'm on the wrong page. When you go to my events, real quick, I'll show you this. This is another way you could get your stuff to pop, and it's different from, all these are just in normal writing: attracting your dream coach, making your social media pop, Easter egg hunt, blah, 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 blah. But if you go to all the events that I've hosted, where's my hosting? Why can't I find anything? Hold on, my lovey. Let me see. Mommy. Baby, I'm literally on a call. Whatever you need to ask is gonna have to wait, my babe. Couple minutes. We're almost done. We're just chatting now. How come I can't find my? Well, here, let me go to hosting. Where's the past hosting? Past? Well, hell, I don't know, but you know what I mean. Like when you scroll down all your events, see how they're all in the same font. Oh, and that one pops out, right? Because it has that weird, circles and a different font. So everybody pretty much uses the normal font that comes on Facebook. I actually go into a special app called Fonts. It's pink. It just has like the letter F on it if you want to download it. It's called Fonts, and I write whatever I want to write, and then I copy and paste it and send it to myself through Facebook Messenger. Then when I'm setting up my events, I could use that font so that it pops out from the rest of the fonts. Because a lot of people, when they go into their events, they just have a bunch of events that they've been invited to, but see mine kind of stick out because I do them a little bit different. So that's something else that I do. That's another way to make your stuff pop. And you can do that on your posts as well.
What is that app?
It's called Fonts, F-O-T-S, F-O-N-T-S. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, no, you know what? I lied. It's called Better Fonts. And it just looks like a little, see that pink?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's called Better Fonts. And I do that a lot, too.
Cool.
Yeah.
So good. This was so amazing. Does anyone, I know that we went over.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
So great. I mean, this was amazing information. So thank you for taking time to spend with us.
Yeah.
If anyone has any questions, you have like a few.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're just chilling at home. We're good.
Anyone
and again, you guys don't overthink this stuff. Like, it has a lot to take in. And it didn't just like happen overnight. All I did was have fun with what I was doing. I just play with the pictures, and I tried to emulate what I see out there that I think is appealing and attractive to me. Mm-hmm. Like, if you want to be a network marketer, you have to make your little space be appealing to the masses, or your not even the masses, just your target market. So it will come in time. Just think about, what you're posting, what your profile picture looks like, what your cover page photo looks like. You guys also, too, I want to give you a little tip. If you're making a cover photo, if you're in the app Rhonna, which is R-H-O-N-N-A, if you're in that app, there's different sizes you could pick from when you're making your template and creating your photo. If you want to make a perfectly sized image that fits your Facebook cover photo, how sometimes people are all cut off and stuff. I'm really anal. I want it to fit. You want to see everything. It's the 16.9. So if you select the image size of 16.9, that's a Facebook cover photo preset page. Thank you.
Shelly, I have one question. In terms of time, how long does it take you to make a marketable picture post?
Not long, just because I've grown comfortable with the few apps that I use. And I don't, like I said, I don't spread myself. I would never advise your time is far better spent talking to people. And so if it's not, I don't want you to sit there for hours and oh my God, my circle has to be perfect and blah, blah. That's stupid. That's a complete waste of time. You're clearly overthinking stuff. I only do it because it's fun. It's almost therapeutic for me. I sit down, I'm laying in bed, I play with this, I see something on TV, or I see this other coach, she posted a cute picture of her with her abs and the cute little, I'm like, oh, I'm going to do that, but I'm going to use this picture. You know what I mean? I just kind of see stuff, Pinterest or wherever I get my inspiration, and then I kind of have fun with it and make it. It doesn't take me long just because I've grown to be very, very fast on it. But the part that does suck is when I don't feel creative. When I came home from the cruise, I was like, I was just drained. It was daunting. I was like, shit, I got to make the damn 22-minute hardcore freaking advertisement for the thing. If I don't do it, my team won't do it. Legit, they won't do it. So, and I've enabled. I probably shouldn't do that. I sit here and tell you guys to go do it because I want you to do it and feel good about it and feel cool about what you're, putting out there. But my team won't do it. I'm like, here you guys go, use this for your next challenge group because I want them to succeed. But sometimes when I'm not feeling creative, it's hard. I'm like, shit, I got to make something. I can't think of what, and then at that point, it's like time to keep it really simple and just invite. Do you have to have, okay, go ahead. Do you have to have a pretty picture to go with every single challenge group? No, that's stupid to think that. But if you enjoy it, and it is going to help your social media, especially if you find your brand. This is more so about branding than it is anything. Like brand yourself, create the babe, can you get her, please? You can't be on here when I'm talking. Listen, these people are going to see you. Look at this. See these people? Yeah. So create the picture that you want to create, or create the feeling more or less that you want to create. And you could change that until you find what's yours. Use the colors you find appealing. Use the fonts. Use the, whatever you find appealing. And take a note from the professionals. Look at what they've done and make it your own. And that's basically it. And I mean, that could go much deeper than just your themes for your challenge groups and for your up and coming sneak peeks and that type of thing. But that could go right down to your brand. What does your team look like? What is your team colors? Does your team use arrows? What's your team name? What does it mean? What does that logo look like? I mean, this is all really boils down to branding,
You're really great at it, girl. I know that some of our pushers from the Push 2 Diamond are here. Shelly is the one who created all the images that go on to specify each day. So
and it was like
freaking amazing.
5 minutes.
Literally, like she would be like, "Oh, here they are!" Boop 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 boop. I'd be like, "What the?" I'm like, "What is she crazy?" She has a machine at home doing this.
They're so easy and so fun, and that's what's funny is I see a lot of the coaches hiring these people that are $300 a week. The girl box graphics, they're like $6,000 for a package. I'm like, girl, I'm in the wrong business. I need to be doing graphics for coaches.
Girl, for real. I gotta pay you.
If you guys like to work on your computer, I don't know if anyone's comfortable with Photoshop or
Canva, that right? Is the other one Canva?
Well, Photoshop is like the first of the first, like through Adobe. Adobe Photoshop is like for photographers, but you could make your own invites and stuff. So if you're comfortable with Photoshop, then you would go on to something like PicMonkey or Canva.
Okay.
And Canva, don't do that again, please. You're gonna get in trouble. Canva is cool because they started a format and PicMonkey is strictly for your laptop or desktop. They don't have like an app. And I've used it a couple times for a couple things. I'm like, ooh, it kind of overwhelms me. I'd rather be on my mobile app. And then Canva actually is smart because now they've branched out to not only being on the computer, but they have a platform for iPads. Not iPhones, just iPads. So, I mean, maybe the apps aren't your cup of tea because you got to pinch and use your finger. Maybe you like the computer better. I just don't like the computer better because I'm a product of mobile phones. I'm not a product.
What's the other one that you said?
Canva and PicMonkey.
PicMonkey. Okay.
Yeah, PicMonkey. And there's Melanie Mitro has some great YouTube videos, how-to videos on how to use PicMonkey.
Okay.
He makes it look easy. Some of those coaches, that's all they use. I mean, it's like graduating from the mobile phone to the computer, and I don't, I just haven't graduated there. I haven't seen a need to yet, but if I do, I will,
Cool. Very cool. Anyone else before we let Shelly go and I let everyone go to bed?
I'm so sorry. You guys, it's late over there.
Girl, you were amazing. I took notes. This is so amazing. Thank you so much for joining us.
Go out and hit Success Club. It's not too late.
That's right. That's right.
And you don't need the pretty picture to do it. You do that later. You just go invite. Right.
Yes.
Yep.
And I'm gonna hit you up with the 3 things that you gotta share with me.
I sent you.
You already showed us the images for the 22. The tutorial, Rana.
The Rana tutorial, and then
the Amy Silverman thing. You said there was a call, Amy Silverman.
Yes. Write that down because I'll forget.
I wrote it down.
You know me.
I got you.
I'm a little free spirited.
Thank you. You were amazing, girl. I knew I had the right girl for this call. So thank you. I appreciate your time and your knowledge. Bye.
Say bye-bye.
Thank you guys for joining tonight. Have a wonderful night.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye, sister.
Thanks, Charlie.
Bye, girl.
You're welcome.